At approximately 3:47 in the morning on November 23, 2024, Detroit's 911 center picked up a desperate call that would unravel one of the most meticulously planned homicides the city has ever seen. A woman's voice, choked with tears, barely managed to report a violent break-in at 1247 Lakeshore Drive, an address known for its elite waterfront estates. This wasn't a random burglary, though, and the man at the center of it wasn't ordinary. Officers rushed to the expansive riverfront residence and discovered 52-year-old Sheikh Khalil Abdul Azim lifeless in the master bedroom, blood pooling around his head from severe trauma. Nearby stood 34-year-old Maya Beaumont, shaking, marked with what looked like wounds from a struggle. She quickly emerged as the central figure and prime person of interest, in a killing that sent shockwaves across 2 continents. In the days and weeks that followed, detectives peeled back layers of deception, avarice, and treachery linking Detroit's high-end enclaves to the glittering skyline of Dubai. This is the real account of how affection twisted into something lethal, and how one woman's fixation on luxury and security ultimately demolished the life she appeared to treasure. If tales that reveal the shadowy corners of people's motives pull you in, stick around, we're diving deep. Drop a like and subscribe now, because what we'll reveal today might make you second-guess those closest to you. Sheikh Khalil Abdul Azim didn't inherit a throne, but he certainly lived with royal privileges. As the youngest son of Ahmed Abdul Azim, a powerhouse in Dubai's maritime trade, he was raised surrounded by private aircraft, lavish estates, and high-stakes negotiations conducted casually at home. While his elder siblings stayed focused on expanding the family's long-standing commerce operations, Khalil envisioned more. In 1993, at age 21, he persuaded his father to fund graduate studies abroad. Harvard Business School welcomed him, and over the following 4 years he straddled 2 realities: the deep-rooted customs of his Emirati upbringing and the dynamic, innovative world of U.S. enterprise. Those years in Cambridge transformed him in unexpected ways. He mastered blending into American circles with the same finesse he once used in Dubai's bustling markets. He acquired an appreciation for Western comforts, streamlined operations, and, most riskily, Western relationships. Upon graduating in 1997, obligation pulled him back to the Gulf. His 1998 wedding to Fatima al-Rashid aligned perfectly with societal norms in Dubai, a strategic alliance uniting influential clans, reinforcing commercial bonds, and upholding heritage. Fatima embodied the ideal partner, striking, well-educated, from solid lineage, and committed to a harmonious household. They welcomed twins Hassan and Omar in 2001, followed by daughter Ayla in 2005. From the outside, Khalil's existence seemed flawless. His firm, Abdul Azim Global Properties, grew from Dubai roots into London, New York, and Detroit markets. By 2020, his fortune neared $1.2 billion. His kids attended top-tier academies, Fatima held esteem in elite social scenes, and his portfolio kept expanding. Yet flawless can start to feel confining, particularly for someone who'd sampled independence earlier in life. From 2018 onward, his U.S. travel intensified. What began as occasional trips turned into regular, extended stays, sometimes 2 weeks or longer. He explained to Fatima that these were essential for nurturing American assets, which wasn't entirely false. His Detroit real estate alone exceeded $200 million by 2024. What remained hidden was his growing weariness with a scripted existence. In Detroit he could shed expectations, traditions, and scrutiny. There, he was simply Khalil, a prosperous entrepreneur free to decide his own path. That liberty, however, carried a devastating price. Maya Renee Beaumont came of age in a version of Detroit rarely highlighted on screen. Born in 1990 to Darnell Beaumont, a skilled electrician at Detroit Edison, and Kamala Patel Beaumont, who'd moved from Gujarat, India, in 1985, Maya understood from childhood that achievement demanded extra effort. Her parents connected in 1988 at Darnell's contracting firm, where Kamala handled bookkeeping. Their bond was quintessentially Detroit, 2 individuals from distant backgrounds uniting through shared drive and ambition. They wed in 1989. Kamala adopted his surname while preserving her heritage. Navigating life as a biracial young woman in the city honed Maya's ability to adapt seamlessly across environments. Home featured Hindi conversations and Gujarati cuisine alongside her dad's lessons in car maintenance and tough negotiations. Academically strong and a varsity basketball player, she effortlessly adjusted her demeanor to fit any setting. That versatility paid off at the University of Michigan's Ross School of Business, where she completed her MBA in 2014, focusing on global real estate. Her capstone project examining international investment approaches drew notice from Pinnacle Luxury Realty, Detroit's premier high-end brokerage. By 2020, Maya had established herself as the preferred advisor for affluent overseas buyers eyeing upscale Detroit properties. Fluent in English, Hindi, and Arabic, mastered deliberately for Gulf clientele, her roster featured tech leaders, energy tycoons, and international investors seeking U.S. footholds. Her private life, however, lagged behind her career wins. A 3-year romance with consultant Jerome Washington collapsed in 2019 after she uncovered his unauthorized withdrawals from her accounts to prop up his struggling venture. The deceit left her wary, financially cautious, and resolved against future exploitation. By 2022, at 32, Maya enjoyed professional success but personal solitude. She owned a straightforward downtown condo, drove a dependable sedan, and maintained solid savings. Evenings often meant late office hours or streaming shows alone. Her parents fretted that work consumed her at the expense of relationships. She had no inkling that her career path was about to intersect with someone who would append, and eventually ruin, her world. If this narrative already has you hooked, give it a like. We're only beginning, and the turns ahead are intense. On September 15, 2022, a date etched into two families' histories, Khalil sought a Detroit residence that doubled as smart investment and discreet sanctuary during his lengthening U.S. sojourns. Hotel suites had grown impersonal and lacking privacy. He craved seclusion and a space free from reminders of distant duties. Pinnacle assigned their top international expert, Maya Beaumont. Their initial appointment, 2 p.m. at the Lakeshore Drive estate, a sleek 12,000-square-foot modern build from 2019, boasting panoramic river views, a high-value wine collection, and exceptional seclusion. Maya arrived ahead of schedule, having thoroughly vetted her prospect: Dubai developer, Harvard-trained, family man, billionaire-level wealth. She'd handled wealthy buyers, but none matched this caliber. Precisely at 2 o'clock, his black Maybach arrived. Khalil emerged in an impeccably cut navy suit, no tie, projecting boardroom authority more than traditional Gulf elite. Tall at 6 feet 2 inches, with distinguished graying hair and sharp dark eyes, he exuded effortless presence. "Ms. Beaumont," he greeted, his accent a smooth fusion of Arabic roots and American polish. "Thank you for adjusting to my timing. Mr. Abdul Azim, I believe this residence will impress you." Over the following hours she showcased every feature, design elements, local market stats, ROI prospects, while conversation flowed to Detroit's revival, East-West business contrasts, cuisine, and the odd comfort of belonging abroad. Khalil appreciated her expertise beyond listings. Her cultural insight stood out. She posed intelligent queries about his ventures, demonstrated solid grasp of regional affairs, and created ease around topics he seldom broached stateside. "You speak Arabic?" he inquired in the master suite, gazing at the river. "Studied it for clients, but kept going. The heritage fascinates me. The UAE's rapid progress in half a century is extraordinary." For someone frequently reducing his background to stereotypes in American dealings, her authenticity felt rare. "This place has calm, discretion," he noted at the window. Precisely what many global buyers seek, a haven for their true selves, uncomplicated. Her phrasing lingered. She seemed to grasp how accomplished lives often require separate compartments. "I'll take it," he declared. "Cash, full price." At $4.2 million, the deal closed swiftly. Maya secured her biggest payout yet, and unexpectedly, a client requesting assistance personalizing his new U.S. retreat. Professional ties were shifting into something irreversible. By early 2023, Khalil's Detroit routine centered increasingly on Maya. Thursday arrivals, Friday meetings, weekends together. Business meals morphed into candid evenings discussing literature, destinations, and contrasting worldviews. He admired her straightforward drive. She was drawn to his refinement and access to boundless means. "Why settle here when you could choose anywhere?" she asked one night in the wine cellar over vintage Bordeaux. "Dubai is stunning but scripted. Here I simply exist. And your family accepts the distance?" A brief hesitation. "My wife recognizes business demands compromise. She has her own world." The initial deception, among many. By spring their bond turned physical. No formal exclusivity talk, but his gestures implied her availability during visits. $15,000 monthly consulting fees, a BMW i8 delivered to her door, cards covering expenses that extended to personal luxuries. Maya framed it as savvy independence, retaining other work, her condo, never demanding outright. Yet her schedule increasingly aligned with his, her finest anecdotes saved for him, her wardrobe chosen to captivate. The setup suited both. He enjoyed company minus strings, stimulation without cultural friction. She gained stability, opulence, and validation from someone who could select anyone. But gilded arrangements hide restraints, and Maya would soon feel them acutely. If tension's building for you, hit like, the darkness deepens from here. For almost 2 years their dynamic ran smoothly. Visits every few weeks, up to 10 days, living couple-like, gallery openings, fine dining, quick jet escapes to Chicago or Manhattan. Maya's existence upgraded dramatically, from everyday retail to elite boutiques, appreciating rare vintages, traveling premium. Beyond possessions, Khalil treated her as an intellectual equal, consulting on local trends, valuing her perspective as his cultural liaison and Detroit guide. The lakeshore property became their isolated realm. Professionally styled yet incorporating her preferences, stocked pantry favorites, closet space for her items, extra workspace. "You've turned this into something real," he remarked while preparing dinner together, a simple joy absent from his staffed Dubai life. "Easy when the place feels joyful," she answered sincerely. Yet joy rooted in concealment eventually fades. Khalil guarded strict divisions, preserving his core existence. No direct calls, encrypted apps only. No Dubai visits, no introductions to associates. No public traces. In the Gulf he remained committed family man. In Detroit, her discreet partner. The spheres stayed separate. For a while Maya complied. The perks were immense. Upgraded loft, spa routines, spending surpassing her parents' annual earnings. She attributed it to thriving global consulting, partly accurate. Isolation, though, erodes even strong resolve. Late 2024 found her lonelier than pre-Khalil days. Old friendships faded. How to justify new affluence? Romance felt pointless. Who matched a billionaire? Family ties strained from evasiveness and absences. "You seem withdrawn," her mother noted at a sparse October dinner. "Are you content?" "Fine, just swamped with projects." But the strain wasn't workload. She was awakening to the trade-off. Genuine connections swapped for an exquisite mirage, and the toll mounted. The fracture appeared early November. Khalil noted a forthcoming trip might shorten. "Reason?" she asked evenly. "Anniversary plans with Fatima. 26 years. I need to attend." The number crystallized his other reality as more tangible than theirs. Naturally. Family matters. Alone later in what increasingly felt like her home, questions swirled. What was she sacrificing her prime years for? November 8, 2024, the pivot. Khalil arrived for what he called a quick 4-day stop before heading home for celebrations. Normal pattern, daytime appointments, evening closeness. That Thursday, an urgent Dubai issue kept him on extended video conferences in Arabic. Maya retired around midnight. By 3 a.m. he finished, exhausted, and retired, leaving his laptop open. Next morning he departed early for investor breakfast. Maya, intending to order weekend provisions, something done before with shared non-corporate logins, opened to his private family email, previously unseen. She hesitated, then read. The messages exposed profound closeness with Fatima, not mere arrangement but genuine partnership. Counsel, humor, joint parenting choices. More crushing, evidence of additional parallel relationships. Isabel Lauren, London art specialist, supported since 2019. Sophia Chen, New York marketer, with apartment and stipend. Hours passed reviewing transfers, deeds, patterns. Intelligent women in business hubs received luxury and discretion for loyalty. Devastatingly, recent files outlined U.S. asset reorganization, sales, ended arrangements, concluded consultancies by year-end. He intended to sever ties without discussion. Surrounded by symbols of permanence she'd helped create, Maya realized she was expendable. When Khalil returned, she cooked normally, listened attentively, appeared unchanged. Internally, gratitude morphed into calculation, connection into leverage. The woman once enchanted now plotted to seize control. The ensuing fortnight saw chilling calculation. While Khalil celebrated in Dubai, Maya mapped his empire. Offshore accounts, European holdings, U.S. portfolio exceeding $300 million, structured outside UAE succession rules. American probate could delay years, opening claim windows. The notion crystallized slowly, fueled by fury and insider knowledge. His solo travel, loose schedules, security familiarity, complete trust. She studied Detroit burglary patterns, response intervals, forensics, suspect avoidance, not for protection, but perfection. The scheme: fake botched robbery. Khalil falls to urban crime. She survives traumatized. With fabricated partnership proofs, pursue estate share. To ensure vulnerability, she messaged, urgent talk needed about us and our path forward. Come sooner. He advanced travel 3 days, seeing opportunity for candid limits discussion. Unaware, he hastened his fate. Khalil landed November 19th upbeat, strong anniversary, thriving kids, Asian ventures on track. Felt he'd harmonized his worlds. You seem content, she noted at pickup. I am. Your message got me reflecting on next steps. The weekend mimicked routine, yet for Maya every luxury underscored finality, every gesture transactional. Khalil mistook her reserve for pre-talk anxiety, viewing it as readiness for truth. Monday night, November 21st, he opened dialogue. Maya, you've grown vital to me beyond expectation. But my obligations remain fixed. Family, Dubai come first. I hope you see that. I do. I've considered realistic ways forward. I could fund your independent brokerage, full control, major backing. Security for you, continued connection on honest terms when I'm here. Objectively generous. To her, mid-murder blueprint, it registered as polished rejection. Thoughtful. Mind if I reflect a few days? Absolutely. We'll refine soon. He planned departure post-Thanksgiving. 4 days left. She proposed cooking tomorrow for one last evening before decisions. He retired optimistic about graceful resolution. Maya stayed awake, refining lethal details. Thanksgiving, November 22nd, his final day. Pre-dawn, she rigged the scene. Using electrical know-how from her father, she tampered with exterior cameras to mimic failure. Scratched door locked subtly for attempted entry illusion. Self-inflicted marks, bruises via makeup research, neck scratches, palm cut for defense credibility. Rehearsed 911 delivery, hysterical yet informative. Police averaged 8 to 12 minutes response here, enough for act and staging, not excessive delay. Khalil spent day phoning home, reviewing deals, discussing daughter's Oxford acceptance with Fatima. Proud, connected. Evening, she cooked lamb shawarma, evoking his roots while displaying cultural effort. Conversation touched American holidays, gratitude. I'm thankful for family well-being, solid ventures, balanced existence I once thought impossible, he said, meeting her eyes. If he registered her fleeting expression, he stayed silent. Post-dinner movie, he dozed on couch by 10. She observed his calm features, questioning her resolve. 11:30, urged bed. Tomorrow we settle everything, he murmured. Yes, she echoed. Tomorrow changes all. At 12:47 a.m. November 23rd, Khalil slept soundly beside her. By dawn he'd be gone. She'd pose as surviving victim. She waited for deep slumber. 1:15 a.m., downstairs for last setup. Weapon, heavy Tiffany crystal paperweight, his gift months prior. House item, no red flags. 1:45, crowbar interior door damage, scattered valuables, briefcase rifled, key papers concealed. Interior alarm triggered via induced surge, brief blind spot, no trace. 2:30, ready. Back in bedroom, hesitation struck seeing his serenity. The man who'd opened new horizons, respected her mind, made her feel singular. Then memories flooded, other women, asset plans excluding her, replaceability. She gripped tighter. First strike roused him, damage too advanced. Confusion, betrayal in his gaze as he reached instinctively. I'm sorry, she breathed. I won't be discarded. Second strike fatal. 10 minutes beside him, authentic grief poured out, for lost love, ruined bond. Then pragmatism, Positioned body for fight illusion, smeared blood on wounds, disordered room. 3:30 a.m. 911. Help, break in. He's hurt bad. Hurry. Dispatcher guided. Her replies balanced panic and clarity. Intruders gone. Unsure. Heard fleeing. Hiding. Bathroom, terrified. Victim status. Unresponsive. Head wounds. Blood everywhere. Officers arrived 3:56. Found her distraught in foyer over body, pleading futile aid. Seamless portrayal. Shattered survivor. Yet flawless acts often crack under scrutiny. Detective Zion Parker, 15-year homicide veteran, sensed discord immediately. 4:30 a.m. in bedroom, absorbing scene and her narrative, instincts screamed mismatch. Recount slowly, he urged gently. Her account, awakened 3 a.m. by breakage sounds. Tried rousing Khalil, voices demanded valuables. He confronted downstairs, instructing lockdown and call if needed. Heard negotiation, escalation, silence. Waited in fear before descending. Emotional, vivid, backed by apparent traces. But Parker's experience overrode empathy. No genuine forced entry. Superficial marks suggested staging. Body position, bedroom death, supine attack patterns, not downstairs defense. Stolen item selective, valuables left, wallet untouched, yet laptop, phone, specific files vanished, useless to random thieves, valuable to insiders. Ms. Beaumont, clarify your connection to Mr. Abdul Azim. 2 years together. He owns here, I oversee during visits. Visit frequency, monthly, often longer, growing Detroit interests. Aware he's married. Brief pause. Yes. Never marriage plans. Mutual care. Hours later, while forensics worked and examiner assessed, Parker gathered neighbor statements, nearby footage, timeline. No reports of disturbance, vehicles, noises. Opposite house camera. No movement midnight, 4 a.m. Mansion system failed 12:15 a.m., rare glitch per provider. Khalil's phone, 43-minute call to Fatima ending 12:30 a.m., calm, loving, discussing early return and honest conversation about Detroit matters, naming Maya positively. This wasn't burglary. It was targeted homicide, chief witness likely perpetrator. If that reversal hits hard, subscribe, the revelations intensify. Deeper probe into Maya's finances showed lifestyle far surpassing consultancy earnings, clear subsidies. Device forensics, weeks of searches, Detroit crime stats, response times, forensics protocols, inheritance for unmarried partners, UAE versus U.S. marital claims. Not victim research, perpetrator prep. Khalil's stolen laptop? Recovered in her closet, wiped, but recoverable data confirmed access to private files. Team assembled, financial experts, accountants, profiler specializing in motive-driven killings. Dr. Aisha Coleman, calculated profit move, not impulse. Murder deemed more lucrative than continuation. Fraud scope, forged common law proofs, fabricated promises, backdated beneficiary will, aiming $200+ million claim. Journal entries chronicled descent. November 10th. Discovered others. Played us all. Humiliated. November 13th. No legal standing. 2 years, 0. November 16th. That paperweight. Heavy. Insane. Maybe not. November 19th. Arrival tomorrow. Decide my worth. Self-convinced entitlement justified elimination. Never true affection, attachment to status, escape. Threatened, she destroyed source rather than relinquish fantasy. December 1st, 8 days post-killing, sufficient evidence for arrest. Parker opted final confession chance. Appreciate you coming in. Seeking justice for Khalil, a decent man undeserving this. Laid contradictions, no real breach, odd theft choices, supine blood evidence implying known attacker. Points to intimate knowledge, routines, weaknesses. Hands trembled despite composure. Pressed with searches, finances, forgeries. Journal shown, mask shattered. He planned to erase me. 2 years meaningless. I protected myself since no one else would. Confession methodical, remorseless. Planning, execution, Intended theft framed transactionally. No guilt expressed, only frustration at interception. He chose disposability. I chose response. Trial opened March 15, 2025, Detroit's most followed case. Prosecution, ADA Marcus Jefferson, greed-fueled premeditation. Love weaponized, trust exploited for lethal gain. Not passion, calculated asset grab. Defense, Candace Williams, manipulated victim. Emotional confinement, isolation for his gratification. Discarded, she broke. 6 weeks. Experts, finances, profiles. Fatima attended daily, clad in mourning, eyes fixed on defendant. Dr. Coleman, narcissistic traits plus material dependency. Lifestyle fused with identity. Threat sparked rage, premeditated capacity clear. Interrogation recordings devastating, detached plan discussion, zero regret. I invested years. Deserved compensation. Khalil's children testified poignantly, loss of father, grandfather, future, due to perceived entitlement. April 28, 2025, 4-hour deliberation.